everyone. We have made it to the last section of the grade 9 general term 3 exam, the free response questions. Okay, so this section is going to be 5 questions. The point value for each question is going to change, but the total for this section is going to be 40 marks. Okay, so there's going to be maybe one question that's 6 and one question that's close to 11, and then depends on how the Wizara wants to break down the last 3 questions. So you're going to have something that's not a lot of points, and then something that's going to be quite a few points. Okay, so this is my favorite section because this is the part where you get to show off all the things that you've been learning in math and showing everybody how hard you've been working. If you do really well on this section, it means that you are pretty good at the lessons that you needed to learn for term 3. So you should be extremely, extremely proud of yourself if you get a high mark in this one. Okay, so our goal is to get at least 30 points in this section. We'd like to see a lot of 40s this time around, so I think you can do it. We have a long time to practice this weekend, so just make sure that you practice. All right, so we are going to start the writing questions, number 16 to number 20. Just an overview. I would say that question 16, 17, 18 might be the ones that might give you a little bit of trouble. They range about a level 2 to a level 3. Depending on your level is going to depend about how many points you should expect in the exam. So if you're shooting for all 40 points, okay, then you should be able to do every question. If you're trying to get about 20 points, okay, you need to focus on 19 and 20, getting it correct, and not leaving 16, 17, 18 empty, but writing something down. Every little thing that you know can help you get a mark in this part of the exam. Okay, so do not leave anything empty. Okay, so first question is coming from lesson 12.5, question number 16. This is about segment addition. So what is the meaning of addition property? Anybody?
Add both sides.
Yeah, add both sides. Subtraction property.
Subtract both sides.
Multiplication property.
Multiply both sides.
Division property.
Divide both sides.
Substitution.
Replace a value.
Then we have reflexive.
Equal to self.
Equal to
Symmetric.
self.
Change order.
Change the order. Transitive.
Oh, skip the middle.
Okay, so these vocabulary words are going to be important for you to know because you might need to write them inside of your proof for the reason section. So know these vocabulary words in case you need to use them. To remind you about the words reflexive. Reflexive means that it's going to be equal to itself. In the exam, you will know the reason should be reflexive if you have something that is the same thing on both sides. So in this example, I have A is equal to A. The name of this kind of description is reflexive. If we have side AB is congruent to side AB, the reason that you write in the proof is going to be reflexive. Symmetric is if you see something in the proof changing order. What do we mean by changing order? If A is in the first place in the first line, and then it moves to the second place in the second line, okay, we're going to say that's A equal B, changed order with B equal A. When you see something like this, the reason that you write in your proof is going to be symmetric. So, example, if I tell you that x is equal to positive 2, what should be the symmetric?
2 equal x.
2 is equal to x. Fine. If I tell you side AB is congruent to side CD, what is the symmetric?
Side CD congruent to AB.
So side CD congruent to AB. You're just going to change the place of the values. So if this is in the first place and this is in the second place, to make it symmetric, they should change. CD is now in the first place and AB is in the second place. We also have another vocabulary word. Transitive means to skip the middle. So here you have A is equal to B and B is equal to C. If we want to make something transitive, we have to skip the thing we have in the middle. And we can write that A is equal to C when we skip the middle. It's like your Uno card. When you play this card, the person sitting next to you, they have to be skipped. It goes to the next person in the line. So that is how transitive works, like the skip card in Uno. Here, another example. 2 is equal to x, and x is equal to y. What can you say now?
Y is equal to 2 is equal to y.
2 is equal to y. So we're going to skip whoever is in the middle, skip this one, and we take the 2 and say it's equal to the y. AB is congruent to CD. CD is congruent to EF. So what can we say?
AB is congruent to EF.
AB is congruent to EF. So again, we're going to skip the thing that is in the middle. AB should be congruent to EF. Everybody's okay with the first section of vocab? All right. Second section of the vocabulary is going to be some words about segments. So a segment is going to be part of a line. So remember, if you see that word, they are referring to part of a line. Anybody the meaning of congruent?
Equal.
Equal. Fine. Congruence means that the segments should be equal. What about segment addition?
Part plus part equal whole.
Anybody on midpoint?
The middle point.
What happens when you have the middle point? You get what?
2 equal parts.
Yeah.
2
so
congruent segments.
Parts, 2 congruent segments. And remember that the midpoint is cutting the line. The point is cutting the line. What about segments bisector? What happens there?
2 congruent segments.
You also get 2 congruent segments. And the difference here is what?
Cut by a line.
It cuts by a line. Fine. So this question, you're going to have to write the proof. How much of the proof you're going to have to fill out, I do not know. But these vocabulary words that we are about to discuss again are going to be the reasons that you write in the reason column of the proof. So congruent segments means that something has equal measure. If they give you a picture and tell you a number, we know that they are equal measure. If you know the numbers are the same, you must say the 2 segments are congruent. The opposite is also true. If they give you a picture, there is no number, but they put the red line here. What is the meaning of the line, the red line?
Congruent.
It's congruent. So you do not have to have a number here to know that they should be the same. Anytime something is congruent, they must be equal. Every time they tell you in the picture congruent or write in the sentence congruent, okay, it means that the numbers there should be the same, should be equal. So in the exam, for me, and probably for many of the teachers, if you write congruent segments or congruents, most likely you will take the point. They are very, very similar. But the main difference between them is that when we say something is congruent, they start with equal, change to congruent. If we write something congruent, start with congruent, change to equal. Adi, doesn't really matter too much. Just do your best to write the correct word with the correct spelling so we have the idea about what you mean. Okay? The next vocabulary word you need to know is about segment addition. Segment addition is part plus part equal to whole. So we have AB plus BC is equal to AC. This part of the segment plus this part of the segment gives you the whole segment. Part plus part equal whole. So if you see something in the exam, something plus something equals something, and you check the picture and it's a part and another part, it's equal the whole thing, you write the word segment addition. Here, midpoint. B is the midpoint. This point is where? In the middle. Every time you have midpoint, the left side segment and the right side segment should be congruent. So AB should be congruent to BC. Everybody is okay about midpoint?
Yes.
All right. The last one here is segment bisector. Very similar to midpoint. But the difference here is that you have a line that is doing the cutting. So here, this line CD is cutting AB. If you take some scissors and cut the yellow line, it's going to make the left side congruent to the right side. So again, if you take some scissors and cut on this yellow line, the distance from A to M is the same as the distance from M to B. They're going to be congruent. Okay? In the writing, they must tell you something about bisect for you to know this thing. You can't just see the picture and say, okay, segment bisector. You have to know the information from the writing. Everybody's okay? So we have midpoint, segment, bisector. Very, very similar. Both of them are cutting a segment. The midpoint is doing the cut for the first segment, and the second segment, you have the line that is doing the cutting. So if I take scissors and cut here, the left is congruent to the right. If I take scissors and cut this line, the left is congruent to the right. So, vocab check. Line number 1 says QA is equal to QA. What vocabulary word is that? Nobody has a guess.
I forgot the word for it, but it starts with an R.
Yeah, sure does. It's reflexive. Reflexive means what?
Equal to itself.
Equal to itself. So the QA is equal to QA. It's the same thing both sides. If the same thing is both sides, the vocab word is reflexive. Line number 2, side AB is congruent to side BC, and BC is congruent to side CE. Then AB is congruent to CE. What happened there?
Midpoint?
If they want midpoint, it have to say midpoint,
Skip the middle.
right? So how did we get from here? How did we get AB congruent to CE? Correct, it is transitive. Skip the middle. You have to look very closely at this thing to see what's changed or what's missing. We started with BC in both, and then we deleted the BC. What reason can we delete the BC? It's transitive. Skip the middle one. So the first one congruent to the last one. Here, number 3, Q is between P and R. Then PR is equal to PQ plus QR. If you get confused, draw a picture to see what they mean. So here is a line.
Segment addition.
Right? Q is between. What is the meaning of between?
In the middle.
In the middle. So Q is in the middle. P is on the left. R is on the right. So from P to R is equal to what? PQ, this one, plus QR, plus this one, correct? Segment addition. The last line, AB plus BC equal EF plus FG, and AB plus BC equal AC. Then EF plus FG equal AC. What happened? Let me change the color. So how did we get this? What did we start with? We started with this thing. All right, so AB plus BC equal EF plus FG. What's happened here? How did we get EF plus FG is equal to AC? This says AC.
They skipped the middle.
They didn't skip the middle. Skip the middle, you have to have the same thing twice like this. It have to be in the middle of the two things, kind of.
I think midpoint.
It have to say midpoint. You can't just say midpoint. If you want midpoint, it have to say in the line, midpoint. So not midpoint.
Miss, but they skipped the B.
They only skipped B. That's the only thing that changed.
And they took the other equation apart. I don't know.
You guys have to see what's the thing that changed. Something is deleted or added. So here is AC.
They add the AC.
Yeah, so here is the AC, fine. See this part. What happened to this part? Is it still there or it deleted?
Deleted.
Deleted. Okay, why can you delete it? You delete it and
So
put
they're
what?
equal.
You deleted this one and put what in the place?
AC.
No.
Oh no, EF plus FG.
Right? So you deleted this one, keep this one in its place.
Ah, substitution.
This is substitution, right? We've replaced a value. How do we know we can take AB plus BC, delete it, and write EF plus FG? We know that because of the first part. They are equal here. Anytime they tell you something is equal, you can delete one and put the other. You can replace it with the other one. So your exam is about the proof. Maybe they're going to give you the proof. Maybe you're going to have to start it from the beginning. So if they ask you to write a proof, what is the first thing you're going to do?
The giving out the t-chart.
You're
T-chart.
going to make T-chart. So good. You're going to make the T-chart. So draw the T. What's you going to do after the T-chart?
And the left
given.
side is segment, and the right side is the. I forgot the word for it.
Close. Left is going to be statement, and the right side is going to be
Reason.
reason. So if they do not give you this chart, you have to draw it yourself. Draw the T-chart. Left is statement. Reason is right. Okay? After you do the T-chart, everybody can put some information in the T-chart. The first line is always going to be given, the reason. Always, 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 always. So if they give you a blank for number 1, you write given. What else can we do? The statement. This is the problem about the exam. This is the first time that we've done this one in grade 9 general. They've done it in advanced a few times. But I do not know how many statements they're going to give you. They could give you 4. They could give you 5. They could give you 8. It just depends on which type of question they want to ask you. So the number here for the statement is going to change depending on the problem we are solving. But the thing that is going to be the same every time is most likely the first reason is going to be given. And the last statement should always be the proof. So in the last line, you should always put proof, and in the first reason, you can always write given. This means that nobody should keep this question empty. You have 2 pieces of information that you know you can write inside the proof. How are you going to do the proof? Okay, you have 3 steps. The first step is to use everything given. So you go to the proof, wherever they say something given, you write it 1 line. If they give you more than 1, okay, then you write it in another line. But everything in the given, you write it in the statement and then put the reason given. All of the given, put it in the chart. The second thing that you need to be able to do is make sure the proof is in the last line. If you do anything in between, it depends on how well you know the vocabulary we just discussed. But the idea here is that no one should keep this question empty. You can write the given and you can write the proof and you can take some points. If you get all of them, again, it depends on number 3, how much you know your vocab. If we're lucky, they will give you a word bank. I don't know if they will or not. Okay? Everybody is still there hanging out? Yes? You're good? So the Wazara says question number 16 should be similar to example number 1. Well, if we're looking at example number 1, we have blanks in the statements, and we also have blanks in the reasons. The first thing that you have to check with this is the given and the proof. The given should usually be where? Which line?
1.
Line 1. So this thing, you're looking for it to match it exactly. I'm going to get the highlighter. We're going to find this one thing and see it in the proof. It is in line number 1, and the reason you write here is given. The next thing you're going to check is about the proof. QR is congruent to TV. It should be in the last line. So make sure you write it in the last line. For the reason, do not write here proof. Proof does not belong here. The only thing you can write if they give you everything blank is number 1, the 2 yellows, and the green. To fill in lines 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 depends on you and how much vocabulary you know. So for here, number 2, they tell us congruence. So what should we write here if we want to make congruence?
QT is equal to
QT
RV.
equal to RV.
Good. So you write QT is equal to RV. If you can fill that blank, okay, fine. You take another point. Then you look at line number 3. Try to see what it's talking about. It says QR plus RT is equal to QT. So you have to go to your picture. QR plus RT is equal to QT. It's as a vocab word.
Transitive.
That's vocab word is segment addition. Part plus part equal whole. Now line number 4, we don't know. What else could we do about this? If you get stuck on 4, we need to see what happened in 5. So in 5, we have QR plus RT. Ignore the subtract because line number 5 added subtract. And then we have RT plus TV. So what do you think we had there before? We had to start with this. Miss Aisha, where? How did we know to write QR plus RT is equal to RT plus TV? Sometimes in the proof, you have to use something from a different line. So to get line number 4, we had to go to use something from line number 2. In line number 2, they tell us about QT. In line number 3, they tell us QT is equal to QR plus RT. Since I know that these things are equal here, I can replace them. I can delete QT and I can write QR plus RT in the place because I know here they are equal. Same thing about RV. In line number 3, they tell us RV is equal to RT plus TV. So that means I can delete RV and I can write the thing it is equal to, which is this one. It's equal to this. So I can delete this one, put this in the place. Delete QT, put this in the place. What happens when we replace something? We delete it and we replace it. It has a vocabulary word.
Substitution.
So you put
Substitution.
substitution. Number 5, what is the thing they did that was new? We already said they added subtract both sides. They subtract RT both sides. We call that subtraction property. From 5 to 6. Yeah? What's happened? What's something that changed? Something that's new? Something that deleted?
They erased the RT.
They erased the
There's-
RT. They erased this one. On both sides, they erased it. So when they erase it, okay, we can call that substitution again. Because we're replacing RT, subtract RT with 0, right? Because RT, subtract RT is going to give you 0. So it's deleted. The only thing we keeping here is QR, and the only thing we keeping here is TV. Okay, so these are like example number 1. You have to fill in different blanks, right? So again, in the proof, what is the first thing that we're going to start with? We need to see about the givens. How many givens do you have? You have 2 givens. This is given number 1, and this is given number 2. Put them in the proof. You can see them both in line number 1. So you have given number 1 here and given number 2. So what reason do we write for line 1? So then given. The next thing you need to check about the proof is where is the proof. So this one, the proof, belongs in the last line. So check to make sure the proof is in the last line. So if anything else you get correct from here, depends on you and your vocabulary. Line number 2 says we should have definition of congruent segments. So what should we put here in the statement if we want definition of congruent segments?
SU equal LR and TU equal LN.
Correct. Okay, so they should be equal. Next thing, see the picture. SU is equal to ST plus TU. So here is ST plus TU is going to give you SU. It has a vocabulary word.
Segment addition.
Segment addition.
Then you write segment addition. Okay. What is the next thing? We have ST plus TU is equal to LN plus NR. Fine. Nothing about the line before talks too much about that. So we have to go back to line number 2. In line number 2, it tells us what? SU is equal to LR. Then in line number 3, it tells us SU is equal to ST plus TU. And LR is equal to LN plus NR. So what do you think happened here? They deleted this thing and replaced it. What do we call that when we delete something and replace what it is equal to?
Substitution.
To substitution. Now you have to see line number 5. There's something new, there's something different, there's something that changed there.
There's erase the TU and replace it with LN.
Correct. So in line number 5, there's something new. The new thing is LN. Where did it come from? The TU. So what did we do? We deleted TU and replaced it with LN. What do we call that?
Substitution.
Substitution. And we know we can substitute it because of here. This one. TU is equal to LN. Delete this one, put the new thing. Substitution. In line number 6, something new happened.
They subtracted the LN both sides.
Both sides. So number 6, this is the new thing. They subtract LN on both sides. What do we call that? Vocabulary.
Subtraction.
Subtraction. Well, if we do LN subtract LN, gonna give us what?
0.
It's going to be 0. So this is going to delete. And ln, subtract ln, going to give us 0. So that's going to delete. So what should we have here?
ST equal R NR.
ST equal NR. Now, from line 7 to line 8, there's something new, something different.
They replace the equal with the
Congruent.
Congruent. So
it's
it's
congruent.
equal. So write something about congruent. Congruent segments or congruence. Okay? Try another one. This one has more blanks. What's the first thing that we can put in the blanks? Start
Given.
with your given. The given is the easiest thing to put in the proof. You have 1, 2, 3 givens. So what do you think should be here in line number this blank, this blank, this blank? The 3 givens. Then the next thing we need to put is the proof. Where does the proof belong?
The last line.
The last line. So should be down here in the last line. Okay? So it's in the correct place. The rest of the blanks, it depends on you and your vocab. So we have AC is equal to BE. See the picture. AC is equal to CE. Why do you think that AC would be equal to CE?
Midpoint.
The midpoint, right? What did they tell us in the here? It tells us C is the midpoint of AE. C is the middle. What happens with the midpoint? Cut here. The left side is the same as the right side. So midpoint. Number 3, you have AE is equal to BD. Why do you think we can put that equal?
Because it's congruent.
Congruent. It tells us here, AE is congruent to BD. We change congruent to equal. So, what vocab is that?
Congruent segment.
Congruent segments. Line number 4, they want segment addition. What is the meaning of segment addition?
Part plus part equal whole.
So how can we get part plus part equal whole here? What could we write? We have 2 lines. Start with the
we
green
could-
line.
AC plus CE equal AE.
Good. And the second line would be the same, right? We have BC plus CD equal BD. So segment addition. Now number 5, you gotta see what's happened. Coming from a different line. Coming from line number 4, or sorry, no, line number 3. We know that AE is equal to BD in line number 3. So what now? In line number 4, AE is equal to this one. And BD is equal to this one. So what did we do with the AE to make line number 5?
Subtract, substitute, I think.
What is the meaning of substitution?
I would replace a value.
replace a value. So we deleted AE, right? We can delete AE, delete this one, and you can put this one in its place. You can delete BD and put this one in its place. It's called substitution. What can you see about line number 6?
They
Substitution.
deleted the CE and the BC and replaced
They-
it with the same one.
Good. So this one here got deleted, right? We changed this. And what else? We changed this one. Why can we make that change from here? AC is equal to CE. We delete CE and write what?
AC.
And we can delete CD and write, or sorry, we can delete BC and write what?
CD.
CD. So when we replace it, delete something, put something else, vocab. Sorry, can't decide my color now. We deleted this one, put this. We deleted this one, put this. It has a name.
Substitute.
Substitution. Now, line 6. What's AC plus AC?
2AC.
What's CD plus CD?
2CD.
CD.
Fine. You know how to solve? It says division property. So what do you think you should divide?
Divide by 2.
Both?
2. Both
Fine.
sides.
Side.
What happens when you divide by 2 both sides?
AC equal
AC
CD.
CD.
Good. Now, from 8 to 9, what's the new thing? What's changed? What happened?
The equal.
They made it congruent, so congruent segment.
Delete the equal, put congruent, okay? Congruent segments. Fine. A little bit. This one is number 3 from the textbook. That's similar to example number 1. So remember, what's the first thing you can always put in your proof?
Given.
The given. So here it's given. And this is a given. Okay, so 1 and 2 is the given. Where can we see it? In line number 1. What's the reason we write? Given. What is the proof? This is the proof. Where should the proof be? In the last line. Everything else depends on you and your vocab. Right? So a good strategy about how to practice this maybe this weekend is to see if you can fill in the blanks. Maybe leave the reasons blank and see if you can write leave the reasons blank and see if you can put the correct vocab word. But this thing it's just gonna take practice, and then I want to go and see, about how they're getting different things. So how did they get congruent segments? From line 1 to line 2, something changed. What's happened?
The equal.
The equal. So when we make this change, we call it congruent segments. Then line 3, we have Vx plus Xz. Use your picture. This is Vx plus Xz. If we add those, we get Vz. So this is called segment addition. What happened from line 3 to line 4? What did they delete?
The VZ.
We deleted the VZ. What else did we delete?
VY.
The VY. Why can we delete it? Because of line number 2. VZ, we delete it, replace it with this. VY, we delete it, replace it with this. When we replace something, delete and replace, the name is substitution. Right? What's different from line 4 to line 5? Something changed. The new thing, WY. This is the same, this is the same. So this one is the new thing. Why can I deleted what? I deleted the XZ. Delete this one, put this one in its place. I know that from here, line number 2. I can delete the XZ and write WY. Delete and replace, substitution. In this one, they do not show you the subtraction, but what did they subtract? They deleted WY both sides. How did they delete it? They subtract WY. So, subtraction property. What happened from 6 to 7? Anybody see?
They switched places.
Again.
Switched places.
Yeah, it switched places. This one was first. Now it's second. This one was second. Now it's first. Change the order is called symmetric. From 7 to 8, what happened there?
Replace the equal with congruent.
So this one, congruent segments. Number 4, similar, but this one talks about midpoint. So the first given, this is given number 1, and this is given number 2. So they are here in line number 1. The reason given. Next thing to check in the proof is the proof. This one should be in the last line. Third thing about the proof, it depends on you and the vocab. So we have DE is equal to EF. DE equal to EF. How do we know? E is the midpoint. If E is the midpoint, we cut here. The left is the same as the right. So you put midpoint. From line 2 to line 3. Line 3 is using the second given. So this given. We take the congruent and we change it to equal. The congruent changed to equal. The vocab, congruent segments. This one, we put a plus here. So we call that addition property when we add a plus on both sides. Right? How do we know this one addition property, this one segment addition? The segment addition have to be the same segment. It have to make the same line. Sorry. This color. So CE is equal to CD plus DE. CD plus DE makes CE. That is segment addition. Then we have substitution, right? What did we delete? We deleted this part. Why can we delete it? Because we know from the line number 4. Which one did they do? From line number 4, yeah. CD plus DE is equal to EF plus GFG. So we know that the first part is the same as CE and the second part is the same as EG. So we call that substitution. Then the last line, from equal to congruent segments. All right. This one, sorry. Maybe you need a picture here. You have 5 lights, A, B, C, D, E are in a row. Yeah? Oh, can't see. So A, B, C, D, and we'll make that E. They're in a row. The middle light is the midpoint of the segment between the second and fourth lights. Ew. The second and fourth light. This is the second light. This is the fourth light. Okay, this one is the middle. Also the midpoint between the first and last lights. So C is the middle of BD and C is the middle of AE. So that's the first given here. C is the midpoint, it's given. What happens with the midpoint? You get 2 congruent segments. So B and D, if you cut from C, BC equal to CD. That's this part. What should be congruent if we're talking about from A to E? We're still cutting at C. Should be AC is equal to CE. How do we know? Oh, I thought I had a picture. Midpoint. Then you have AC is equal to BC plus, AC is equal to AB plus BC. Anybody vocab?
Segment addition.
Segment addition. Then what did we change? What happened here? We have AC subtract BC is equal to AB. We rewrote that. Subtraction. Where did they get that? They subtract BC on both sides. So what do you have left? Oh, that's substitution. I don't think your proof will be this complicated, yeah? It shouldn't be, at least anyway. But if we do a hard one, okay, fine. Should be easy when you see it in the exam. So what did they do? I'm gonna write it over here, line number 3. They took AC is equal to AB plus BC. They subtracted BC. Both sides. When they subtract BC both sides, you get AC subtract BC is equal to AB. That's how they got this line number 4. Now, they just did substitution. From line number 2, we know AC is the same as CE. So we can delete the AC, replace it with CE. We can delete the BC, replace it with CD. Fine. From line 5 to 6, we delete AB, replace it with DE. No, they subtracted again. Sorry. Let me get a different color. So this line number 6, they took this one same. CE is equal to CD plus DE. Subtract CD both sides. So you get CE subtract CD is equal to DE. Subtraction property. Symmetric. This one, the symmetric. They changed the order of this one, got to number 7. Then, I don't know. AB is equal to DE. They replaced substitution. Oh, they did transitive. Of course they did. I don't think yours will be as hard as this, yeah? But if you could follow along with that, I think you should be fine in the exam. Okay, so the hardest question I have to do today was question number 16. Everything else should be fairly easy and straightforward.
Miss, the writing
And-
is all proofs.
No, just this question. Just this one. So by far, that was the hardest one. I spent a lot of time on it just so you could see it in slow motion so that you can watch it and rewatch what happened about doing the proof. Okay?